Hi there, my name's Adam, this is the Adam Collective, and today we're going to talk about 686's Gore-Tex Pro 3-layer Thermagraph jacket in this sweet rhino gray color. Let's get into the details. First, we're going to talk about the jacket. The jacket obviously is the crux of this whole thing. Pant is extremely important as well, but we'll dive into the top half first. Gore-Tex Pro. So the top level Gore-Tex that you can have. If you're unfamiliar with Gore-Tex, I suggest you do a little looking into it because that stuff has been around for a million years and is basically like, it might as well be a wetsuit, except for it's actually breathable. So hard shell, kind of untraditional for 686, having a technical high-end Gore-Tex piece, but they did a great job with this one. It's $849, so let's see what that actually gets you. Okay, so 686 uses this thing called Thermagraph. Thermagraph is this body mapping system in collaboration with Polartec that allows for a strategic organization of the insulation in your jacket. This is a jacket that's intended for somebody who's looking for a bomber, kind of like all mountain ski snowboard jacket. Also cares a lot about the waterproofing. May tour every once in a while, but realistically is just looking for something that will keep them warm and dry throughout their session. This is great for that. So obviously the majority of your insulation is this little fuzzy Polartec bit that goes all the way down the spine. A few small details that we'll talk about on the inside of the jacket before we go to the outside. First of all, removable powder skirt, really nice, really easy, and easy to reattach, which is always important. There's also little buttons that go together to keep everything nice and tight. Okay, wouldn't be a powder skirt if powder got in there. Know what I'm saying? I also really like the fact that they have a headphone loop. Yes, a lot of us are running AirPods or wireless headphones at this point, but if you decide to use the traditional wire headphones, which is what I use, you have a little headphone loop that pops out of the jacket right there, which is actually really nice and really thoughtful from the wonderful people at 686. Recco. Recco is not an avalanche beacon. I've heard somebody say this before and I almost lost my mind. Recco is just basically a way for somebody to catch you or save you in the event that you are like gone. It is a trackable piece of equipment, but that's it. Nice big stash pocket will fit your skins and whatever else you need to fit in there if you're going for a ski tour, or if you just want to keep, I don't know, a small boom box in here, this is fine as well. Also, many different cinch points on the bottom of this jacket, so if you want to snug things up and make it a little tighter, you can. Also, worth noting before we go to the front, merino wool on the piece of cloth that goes right up near your face. I can't tell you how gross and disgusting that gets in certain jackets because you're like using it as a face mask and like wiping all your stuff it's just gross. So merino wool won't smell. I mean, if you watch the sock challenge thing, you know, like merino wool will last you 55 days at minimum without washing and not be smelly. So I think that should cover you for your mouth vicinity. So thoughtful piece again from 686. Big oversized hood, does fit over most helmets, fits over mine, and I actually really like to ride with the hood up. Makes me feel cozy, makes me, I don't know, a little warmer. Why you have a hood, right? So you can put it over your head. Also cinch on the hood as well, okay? Cinch is covered to keep everything nice and waterproof, which is worth mentioning as well. So, all the way zipped up, plenty of space in here to breathe. Fits nice on the height of this cuff. The height of this cuff is really nice. It goes basically to where you'd want it so that it covers your mouth without even really thinking about that. I think it's a thing that a lot of people skip over when they're designing a jacket is they don't think about how it'll feel when they're actually sitting on the ski lift, cold, and just sitting there like this. Like everybody knows that feeling when like the wind's blowing at you, you're stuck on the lift and then the thing stops and you're like, ah, okay. Really nice for that. And then that kind of plays back to that merino wool little section here. So when you're getting it all gross, it doesn't smell, doesn't retain as much water. Another thing to mention, nicely articulated cuffs where they actually are a little bit longer on the outside so snow doesn't get up your jacket. They do have, as every sales rep in America calls them, the little hand panties. They just go over your hand all fun like that. Go into your glove, little additional warmth layer. I do like that very much. Obviously, Velcro, cinch that down, make the fit look a little tighter. Pass pocket. Pass pocket is critical here. Does have a clip if you're a clippy boy, but RFID all in there. Also, pockets, okay? There is one pocket right here that is nice and tight. I use this one for my wallet, for my keys, all the stuff that's really important, and I keep it shut all day. Then we have two pockets, little hand pockets on the side. This is actually a jacket that I've kind of just worn around town too, and it looks pretty nice. It's, I don't know, doesn't feel like I'm in a ski jacket, but it's warm, it's cozy, and it looks nice. So when you're spending $849, you get a ski jacket and a wear around town jacket. Know what I'm saying? Let's talk about fit and let's talk about style a little bit. I love the Grand Gray. It's extremely clean. It just looks good. Like, I wouldn't hesitate wearing this, like I said before, out to dinner, but I also would spend all day in it in the backcountry, on the ski resort, wherever I need to be, and not feel like a knob. All right, let's talk about the pant from 686 that goes with the jacket. Obviously, if you want to look like a rhinoceros, this is the best way to do it. Buy gray on gray from 686. The pant is $7.99. But for my money, $7.99, you actually get a ton of value in this particular pant. So, let's talk about it. We'll talk about it starting at the bottom, because that's how we do things. Articulated cuffs on the bottom with a really hefty guard. I don't even know if you can hear me because the guard is so heavy. It's like that Cordura type fabric. So when you step on it with your boots, it doesn't get wrecked to shit. Cuffs, okay? They're actually like stretchy, can go over any boot. They don't feel too tight and they're comfortable, okay? Also pretty standard, but there's a hook here to keep them down that goes in your boots. Also really nice. Zippers to open this baby up a little more. If you want a little more flair in your game, you can get that as well. I think I mentioned that they're tapered, but they are nicely tapered as well to fit as good as possible. A couple more things worth mentioning as we work our way up the pant. The knee is articulated well, so when you bend, it does not feel like you're bending in a cardboard box. This actually flexes with you and moves really well. And in general, Gore-Tex 3-layer wears in really nicely. So after your first wash, after you use it for a few days, it gets a lot softer and a little more forgiving. Initially, a little crinkly, but that's how Gore-Tex 3-layer is across the board. Vents. The vents do not go all the way down. They go basically to the end of your thigh, and they are fully open, which again, really nice feature. I like when they're fully open. I don't like mesh vents. Covered pocket, right? So that lower pocket that you have, which I usually store all my snacks, is actually a really nice spot for it. It's nice that it's covered, and even though it's covered, it is still seam sealed, right? So it's like fully sealed, stays waterproof. The right side has two pockets. One that actually has a little phone bit that's sectioned out and that is seam sealed and covered. One that is seam sealed and small. Like, this is ideal for, like, I don't know, your keys, your wallet, stuff that you're not gonna open again, right? Keep that one shut, keep everything in it, keep everything dry. Nice belt, okay? It's nice to have a belt, cinch things up around the waist, make things nice and tight, okay? That part's been great. I'm actually a huge fan of that. This is one of my favorite features in the whole collection, pant or jacket. The fact that this is all stretchy is extremely nice. Like, I'm a pretty thick person. When I wear this, I want to be comfortable. I want to feel like I can move okay. Tons of bibs out there are just straight up gore or material on your chest, and you just can't move very well. This has great stretch to it and allows for the most comfort possible when it comes to that midsection, right? You're adding another layer here. You want to feel like everything is in there and in there tight and just comfortable. Also a pocket on the chest as well. And obviously we have our straps. Now, I know you're wondering what this little tube is here, and I will tell you. It is a Hydrostash. What is Hydrostash, Adam? Hydrostash is this little water bladder guy that you can put water into. Quite a bit of water, or whatever you want, inside this Hydrostash flask. It's actually really cool. I didn't think I'd need water or want water in my jacket, but it's actually really nice to have something on the go, have a little hydration, especially for those longer days. You will look like an absolute pro when all your buddies are sucking wind, dying, completely dehydrated, and you have this nice little feeding tube that goes right into your mouth. And I will say, it also sits very nicely at your waist. And you don't even feel the weight of it even when it's completely full. I promise. Last couple things to talk about on the pant. Turn this baby inside out. Okay? First of all, we should talk about how burly it is. Like, this is nice. This is some nice stuff right here. You have Thermagraph, okay, on the butt, which is really nice because my butt gets cold. I don't know about yours, but my butt gets cold. And on the knees, okay, and on the lower thighs. It's actually really nice to have it's not even insulated, right? Like, we talk about insulation, like everybody thinks like down and puffy and all this stuff. Super thin, non-invasive, basically just this nice little soft layer that sticks onto the butt and onto the knee. That's what Thermagraph is. It allows for the correct mapping of the equipment that you're using so that you stay warm but you don't stay sweaty. One more time on the size side of things, because I am an XL on the top, I'm actually a large in the bottom, so that's worth mentioning as well. The large is a perfect fit for me. Again, 6 foot, 220-ish pounds. This fits awesome in the large. I don't see that being an issue for anyone. For reference, I wear a size 34 waist, okay? And that's it. That's your 686 Gore-Tex 3-layer Pro jacket and pant combo.